Welcome back to Primetime News, and again, a special welcome to those of you watching online at onespotmedia.com. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has relaxed the measures aimed at limiting the spread of COVID-19. Speaking in Parliament this evening, Mr. Holness announced changes to the curfew hours, as well as a reduction in the quarantine days for fully vaccinated people. Now, our reporter Vashan Brown joins us in studio with more details. Vashan.
Thanks so much, Herman. Now, the Prime Minister was addressing Parliament on a day when Jamaica's COVID-19 positivity rate declined to 6.6%. Now, the World Health Organization has recommended countries aim for a positivity rate of 5% or lower. So, not quite there yet, but the Prime Minister pointed out that the numbers are heading in the right direction. At the same time, Mr. Holness says the number of new hospitalizations is of concern, and that will be watched closely. So now, new measures for 4 weeks. First up, the weekday curfew will be 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. starting on June 3 to the morning of July 1.
For weekends, Madam Speaker, the curfew will begin at 8 p.m. on Saturdays and on 2 p.m. on Sundays and end at 5 a.m. the following morning. So we have done, Madam Speaker, a recrafting of the hours to allow for greater commerce.
So essentially an extra 2 hours on Saturdays, and the curfew will remain the same for Sundays. Now, the Prime Minister says travel has been increasing globally in light of vaccination efforts, and he's announced changes to the country's quarantine requirements.
The requirement for all incoming travelers to present a negative COVID-19 test conducted within 3 days of travel remains in place. However, we have reduced the quarantine requirement for fully vaccinated persons to 8 days. To be clear, we do not consider persons fully vaccinated until 2 weeks after they receive the full dosage of the vaccine, meaning both doses in the case of a 2-dose vaccine or 1 dose in the case of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine manufactured by Johnson & Johnson.
Now, as for the stay-at-home orders for people over the age of 60, that will remain in place. However, those in that age group who are fully vaccinated will be exempted. The gathering limit also remains at 10. As for beaches and rivers, well, they will open come June 3, but strict COVID-19 protocols will also have to be followed. As for churches,
Madam Speaker, the maximum number of persons who may be physically present to facilitate worship or electronic broadcast, including officiating clergy and technical support personnel, will be increased from 30 to 50 persons effective June 3rd, 2020. As a reminder, normal worship or memorial services are permitted, but no crusades, conferences, or conventions are to be held. I just want to be clear on this, Madam Speaker. The way it is written in the DRMA is that the churches are allowed to have 1 person for every 36 square feet of church space, up to a maximum of 50 persons. So even if your church is massive, the maximum that you can have for now is 50.
So, Vashan, it has been a hot topic for the past week. What did the Prime Minister say about the reopening of the entertainment sector?
Well, as you pointed out, Herman, the reopening of the entertainment sector has been the subject of discussions in the past few days. Mr. Holness says his administration knows the impact COVID-19 is having on the sector.
We are engaged in discussions with the industry with a view to agreeing the appropriate protocols that could facilitate a limited reopening of the industry in the summer. Madam Speaker, you will recall that in our previous attempt to allow entertainment to open up in the summer of 2020 was one of the factors that resulted in our first spike. The discussions have been constructive and encouraging, and the industry has expressed a commitment to implementing strict protocols to allow it to operate in a safe and sustainable way.